So it's been a couple of days since the readathon ended, and I thought I'd wrap up by kind of going over everything that happened during the readathon and how I thought things went. So I do ratings kind of differently than I think most people, and for my drama Twitter I have like a rating scale because I keep a Twitter thread of all the shows that I've completed, and I have like this rating scale which I'll put up on the screen right now that kind of represents why I choose the stars that I do. And really I rate things purely so that other people who are like maybe looking at my list and have enjoyed some things that I've said I enjoyed, they can look at my list and go, oh, she's enjoyed this, so maybe I'll want to watch it. I did complete all of the challenges that I had set out for this readathon. I wanted to read 3 books with the title consisting of you in it, and then also I had the added kind of watch-a-thon kind of extra bit for this readathon where I picked 3 dramas. They were points of like different reasoning why I picked the specific dramas, but they all had to have you in them. So let's first talk about the book. The first book that I finished was I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. I gave this a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was entertaining. I liked that the tenses switched between the chapters. Some of the reveals were surprising to me, and I like that. I had fun reading it, so that's why I gave it a 5 out of 5. I thought it was just a fun read, and the twists made it, but also I really do like the work that the author did on some of the characters. I just really enjoyed this book, and it was a really great way to kick off the readathon, having a book like right out of the gate that I was like super into and something that I genuinely didn't want to put down. So the next book I read was Celeste Ng's Everything I Never Told You. I also gave this a 5 out of 5, and this is kind of a good representation of how a book can be more significant to me, like to me personally, and still receive the same rating as another book. While I Let You Go was a book where I genuinely was entertained by it, and I just really enjoyed my reading experience. Everything I Never Told You hit me a lot harder. It left me emotional and also left me thinking, and I really love that about books. I love when they make me think, and I think the way that Celeste Ng crafted this book was just so beautiful. After I read the book, I just felt a release. Like I had finally finished the story, and even if everything I wanted didn't appear in the book, all the questions weren't answered, I still was in love with this story. And the last book that I read was The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu. I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5. It's a YA contemporary. It's obviously like not for me, and I do think it had like a disadvantage because it was behind those previous 2 books that it wasn't going to compare, and that's okay. Like I don't think that like I shouldn't have read this. I did enjoy some parts. I thought it was really cute, even though it was kind of the standard tropey rom-com teenage love story. It was really cute, and I think that it executed some really great things, and I can't fault it because I'm not the target audience, or that it's not like another book that it shouldn't be compared to. I do think this is a good book, and it's enjoyable, and I think especially if you're younger, this would be a really book to get into. So the second part of the challenge was my like watch-a-thon. I went with the 3 dramas because I wanted 3, because I had 3 books, because I thought that was good in my head to have 3 books and 3 dramas. But I knew that it was probably impossible for me to watch 3 whole dramas. I wanted to not make this a challenge that I was not going to complete. So I picked the 3 dramas based on 3 different categories. The first was watching a full drama. The second was watching something that was on my watch list. So I had to have already started it. That's just purely because I wanted to start ticking off things off my massive watch list. And the third was I wanted something small, like so it could be a drama special, it could be a movie, it could be a little web series, anything, just had to be small, and then obviously all 3 of them had to have you in the title. So the first drama I watched was Your Home Is My Business. It's a Japanese drama. I picked Japanese drama purely because of the length. Japanese dramas tend to be shorter in episodes and shorter in episode length, so I knew that was kind of what I should be looking at in terms of trying to find a drama that would like fit the needs of my time constraints. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5. It was an okay drama. I enjoyed it. There are parts that were really great about it, but in the end, this just wasn't one of my favorite dramas. And although I don't hate that I sat through the show and watched it, there were times when I was just like, this is dragging, or I could be watching something else that I'd be into more. I think if you're into quirky comedy office worker type shows, this will be a really great one, because it's just about a group of realtors who have this woman come in who can sell any home, and she's like one of those kind of tropey Japanese characters where they're over the top and like a little odd, like almost not human. The second drama that I watched was my currently watching one, Love Myself for You. I actually started watching this last year around November, and I watched the first 14 or 15 episodes of it. It's a Taiwanese drama starring Jasper Liu and Puff Kyo, I think is her name. I don't remember names very well, so sorry. I thought the drama was really cute in the first part. I really liked how they interacted with each other. The problem with this show is that it started really lagging, and of course it was like the episodes that I had to watch for this challenge. I would have rated it higher if it was like the first half, but in the end I gave it a 3 out of 5. I do think if you like Taiwanese dramas and you like kind of more comedy based and a little bit of like a found family, because they work as chefs at a restaurant, and the restaurant has some quirky characters and they all are their own little family. I think that it's enjoyable enough that you should pick it up. And finally, I picked the drama special Your Noir, and the reason I picked this specific drama special is because I had like already challenged myself to kind of focus more on Chansung from 2PM's dramas for this month. And when I was trying to find dramas that could fit into this challenge, I wasn't finding anything, and this was the only thing that I could find that I could watch. I actually ended up giving that 4 out of 5. I liked it a lot better than I had ever expected to. It's a little dark. He does play a gangster in this show, and there is a character who's dealing with domestic abuse, and so it's dark in that way, but I think that the way that they did the story was interesting, and I like enjoyed the story for what it was. And even though there's kind of like no real hope in the story in terms of it being like the small little special, it was interesting enough. So that's how this buzzwordathon went for me. I actually really enjoyed it. It's the first readathon that I actually did stuff with. Before, I've done readathons where I've just done it very loosely, where I maybe read one book, and that's because the readathon had a specific prompt, and I just like, that's how I chose that one specific book. But I never actually did anything like this, so that was fun. I enjoyed, especially for myself, adding the watch-a-thon aspects to it with the dramas, because it was just fun for me. One of the reasons I made this channel was so that I could try to find the ways to fit watching dramas, which I really like to do with my free time, and reading books, and then also I enjoy editing and doing this sort of thing, kind of trying to combine them all in one so that it doesn't feel overwhelming, or it like feels very natural, like they work together. And I think, especially in this challenge, it worked beautifully, and I got through everything that I wanted to get through, so I feel kind of accomplished, and it was fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If this is something you like or you enjoy, please give it a like and comment. That would really help me out. I'll talk to you later.